Hello, Brother Monroe here. Welcome to Ultimate Admiral Dreadnoughts and to a brand new campaign. That's right, it's Independence Day, and we're starting a campaign with the United States of America. Yes, excellent stuff. We're going to start in 1890. Now, one thing I have not done in the Dreadnought Improvement Project version 2 is test any difficulties other than normal. So let's just kick that up a notch to legendary. We'll keep historical AI opponents. We absolutely won't be using garbage AI designs and shared designs to off simply because I haven't made a ship pack for version 2 yet. If you are a version 2 beta user, thank you very much for downloading it. If you're not, there's a link in the description. But yes, the idea here is that eventually we will get a version 1.6 for Dreadnoughts, and then I'm going to have to rebuild all the ships anyway. So that's why version 2 is in beta for now. And then once it comes out of beta, I will also release a ship pack. So no shared designs, which is going to be pure, artificially, intelligently, maybe, generated stuff. Campaign generation takes a little bit, so I'm going to cut, and then I'll see you on the map. Here she is, the land of the free. So the idea here, strategically speaking, is, and just general plan-wise, I'm not going to bother with any Project Amigos rubbish. We're not playing Spain, we're playing the US, we can do what we want. Although not immediately, because we start off with a pretty tiddly little economy. In fact, I think it might in fact be the smallest. Which is really harsh, but the US will grow and grow and grow. Our first opponent is almost certainly going to be Spain. Now, if we want to really take the fight to Spain, we're going to need at least 100,000 tons to even start naval invasions. But my basic idea would be to try and take Cuba, Guantanamo Bay, and Puerto Rico off the Spanish. And then if the war's going well, there's no reason why we can't hit Spain's colonies, maybe take Mallorca, give us a hold in the Med, things like that. What are we looking at in terms of battleship numbers? 10 for the British, 5 for the French, 8 for the Germans, 5 for the Chinese, 4 for the Italians, 5 for the Russians, 2 for the Austrians, 3 for the Japanese, none for the Spanish. Interesting. And we have a centre party government. That's perfectly fine. Well, I guess we need to get to designing then. A battleship. Right, what options do we have? Wow, both of these are potentially awful. Oh my goodness. I've used this type of ship quite a few times before. I'm not a huge fan of this one. I mean, this one is supremely slow, but I think we can make it work. Especially if we reduce the beam and draft and then upsize it. 8,500. Wow, that is not big. 16 knots. That is not fast. The joys of early construction. One thing I will also mention is that if you are a channel member at the appropriate level, you can buy destroyer, light cruiser, heavy cruiser, etc. naming rights. I will name a heavy cruiser after you. And if you are on the Patreon at any tier, you are going to get a ship named after you. I just need to know what kind of ship. Well, what kind of ship depends on the tier, but what name you would like. And if you see a ship with the USS prefix, That is because in the finest capitalist tradition, I've sold the naming rights for that ship. Are there any... Yeah, let's just go with the smallest tower. And secondary tower, probably the smallest one as well. I do actually like the little circles it gives you for the secondary guns. These really... It's actually a kind of cool looking hull. It's definitely different from the others. Right, gun-wise... Our first Mark II gun is going to be the 9-inch. But the extra range, hitting power, and accuracy of the bigger guns is a big draw. 10, 11, or 12 is the question. We're already pretty high up on the old weight. I'm not sure. Let's just go for the 12s, because why not? I can see already that I'm not going to be able to fit 12s. Let's go for a... I was going to say a triple stack arrangement. That looks totally wrong. Oh, but I can do that. That's a really incredibly precarious place to put your boats, but sure. And then we're going to need some secondary guns. We do have the 6-inch dish gun. But they look really weird. So no, not the 6 inches. 6 inches. Let's go with a 5-inch. Secondary battery. Oh, they don't actually restrict the main turret that much. And we can stick them on top. So that's a pretty good secondary arrangement, I would say. Bunch of 5-inch guns, and then... I don't know if there's some, casement slots. It's even got a fighting top. Love that. Okay, standard ratio of shells. I don't think there's much we can really change. We are, of course, overweight, which is a problem I will have to deal with. Gun lengths, probably just leave them all standard for now. We're not really into the realms of changing gun lengths, and I'm also going to have to set my armor quality to 28, or I'm going to get very confused. Right. 28, there we go. So, what kind of penetration are we looking at with these guns? 14, 15-inch. So the 14-inch main belt it came with, actually pretty solid. What about guarding against high explosive 3-inch? Which is, again, what it already comes with. So that's all fine. Deck armor, 1.5 uniform deck is going to be absolutely plenty. 3-inch on the superstructure. We're going to want... Let's go for 15 on the tower, 15 on the turret, top, 3 on the top, 14 on the bobette. These guns... Actually, can we trim that down to 0.5? I'm going to have to start saving weight. Okay, 4%. Mid-belt armor is still very heavy. So I could look to reduce that, potentially, but... I don't want to. Probably get pretty close by reducing the range. Coal is incredibly heavy. I mean, you could just go minimum range. If these are going to be invasion ships, primarily, then the low range doesn't matter because they're going to be operating as a group. I'm not sure they'll go with California. Let's go with the Delaware. Yeah, something along these lines. Now, if we're at 8,500 tons of these, each, I mean, 8,500. We're going to need 12. We're going to need 12 to fulfill our invasion requirements. So I'm going to go and see how many of these I can actually afford to build. The very sad answer is 3. Now that means that we're not able to start invasions straight away. See, if I go to 4, it just says I can't do it. So we're going to build 3 of these. Hopefully we'll be able to get something superior later on. We'll put one in Miami. Should probably put one in Norfolk. And the other one, maybe New York. Spread them out a bit. Okay. So yeah, I already have 14 million left. What else can we build? What other hulls do we have access to? We've got the Armoured Cruiser 1. These could potentially be useful. I'm not a huge fan of armoured cruisers early on, although this could be potentially faster. Right, let's put you on a bit of a diet. These could be used as bulk. Yeah, it's 6,000 tons, so they're not that much smaller than the battleships. They can certainly go faster, although I seriously doubt I'm going to be able to get them to that range. Ooh, cage masts. Gotta go with a cage mast for the American aesthetic. Okay, those don't fit. Those do. I think probably an 8-inch gun is going to be okay on these. I wonder why I can't select the 5-inch casement. Grayed out. Maybe I just haven't researched it yet. Bunch of 4-inch guns. Some signaling guns. Don't know what else you'd call those. Not bad. At 20 knots, though, are they really ever going to do 20 knots? Probably not. How heavy are the engines? Extremely heavy, right. You only need you to do 16 knots, realistically. Because that's the same speed as the battleships. And I assume they're going to be operating together. Armour. Yeah, sure. Let's go for a 6-inch main belt. 3 everywhere else. 0.5. Yeah, very minimal deck armour. I don't really need to worry about that too much. Guns. 8. Let's go for something like that. Only need 3 and 2. Wow, we actually get a fair amount of displacement back. Interesting. So maybe these can be our longer ranged kind of, not raiders, but they can have better range. But we could also just improve their speed a little, I reckon. Or not. You know, let's go for that. It's a bit of a compromise. They're a little bit faster than the battleship. Did I do these components on the battleship? Shit, that could actually be a really big problem. Let me just check. Oh, I totally forgot. Oh well. They'll get a refit very, very quickly. It's because I was mucking about with them. Maybe they're slightly older ships. Right, the Missoula class. I can't build any. They're too expensive. Okay, so that is... Do I even bother with it then? Because I'm going to get much better stuff later on. Do I just go battleship torpedo boat? To start? Until we get some more money? Because all of these light cruisers are absolute trash. I could go with a tiny 3-master, but yeah, we could totally go with a... Could totally just go with a torpedo boat. Torpedo boat. Nonsense. Let's call this the glass. 28 knots. No way you're going to get them to go 28 knots. Range, totally unimportant. Crew quarters are unimportant. Maybe if we reduce that. Wow. No, 275. Okay. El Chip Tower. They don't need secondary towers, which is hilarious. The funnels. Yes, all the funnels. A gun. A torpedo. The cheapest boat that ever boated. Can we at least get a 4-inch gun? So it's a little bit more significant. Oh goodness. Yep. That's thick glass. Wow, we could actually increase their range quite a lot. Which means I'm tempted to take off a funnel to get an extra torpedo launcher in and slow the ship by a knot. That gives us pretty good range on a torpedo boat. 2 torpedo launchers plus a gun, and it's a quad stack, which is a very American design. But yeah, I'm not too enthused by my starting starting fleet. I'll be honest. I could probably make these cheaper by reducing their displacement. Oh, but I don't want to change their size. Just leave them at 275. It's fine. Right, let's see how many of these I can build. Okay, I was able to order 13 T-Class, which, yeah, that has a nice symbolism to it. They're not going to get names because they're torpedo boats, and they are entirely disposable. I'll do that off camera, but you get the idea. Those will be distributed by the game. And then we're going to be able to start the first turn. And we can have a look at what the state of our finances actually is. Okay, we started the game. We have a monthly balance of 10 million. We have no naval funds at all. We're obviously going to max out our transport capacity to start with. Crew training is probably fine. We do need to expand this, though. No, we don't. That is too expensive. Interesting. I think we just leave it like this for now then. Of course I can put everyone on to limited. I'm not a huge fan of doing that early game because it does slow down your crew training, but it will save a lot of money. And we can maybe do this, 12-month expansion? Nope. Okay, let's just not bother with that then. Let's compensate by getting crew training to 50. Yeah, no way we can increase tech spending yet. Let's just keep tech spending at 50. Let's start building up a little bit of funding. Yes. But yeah, we actually start out with the smallest economy. I know I'm playing on Legendary and the AI gets free money, but yeah, it's going to be a tricky one. We are getting a new. Okay. Yeah, it's going to take a while to get the tech and economy underway. But let's see how things go. I'm expecting a war with Spain pretty quickly, maybe within the year. But if not, I'll see you at the start of 1891. Oops, I clicked one too many times. But chicken back in. So our economy is growing rapidly. We've passed Japan. We've still got a long way to go though. No additional ships or anything. Relations, I'm not bothered. I'm just going with whatever decreases unrest and or increases my naval prestige or GDP. Other countries can get stuffed because that's the American way. Our finances are actually looking pretty good. We're not quite to 200% transport cap, but we're close. And I am expanding the shipyards to 12,500 tons, which is fantastic because we do have in 13 months the battleship 1 on the way, which is really, really helpful. We're getting the Mark II 2-inch, yes, very slowly. Semi-armoured cruisers, those could be potentially useful as well in 7 months. So I'll probably see you in 7 months because I do think we need some medium-sized ships. So I'll be there with those in, well, instantly for you. All right, there we go. Brazil is our first minor ally. I'm selling them a torpedo boat currently, which is absolutely fine. That's a pretty good ally for us to have, actually. And of course, it's me. How could we not have the Monroe Doctrine? Politics-wise, much of a muchness. We're kind of neck and neck with Spain currently. We've definitely passed Japan's GDP. We're still growing a lot just under 14%, which I think... No, it's not the highest. Britain and Germany going absolutely crazy with the finances. But we have reached 200% on the old transport cap. One thing I wanted to check, though, actually. If I reduce that to just a little bit positive, does that reduce my GDP growth? Not according to this. Okay, that's good. That frees up a lot of cash, which is perfect timing because yeah, we can jump into designing our first semi-armored cruiser. Again, these do not need to be fast. What's the maximum size for these things? 750. We don't need extra space, so we can just leave it standard everything. They can, in theory, do 20 knots, which would be amazing. We can get the cage masts back. Yeah. The cage masts are absolutely terrible. You don't have to tell me that. They have really bad stats. But they're fun, and they're very American, so... Could go with these. I can get 2 of those. Seeing if there are any triple funnel setups. So that's 61. Or 71, yeah. The 2 air intake funnel extra larges, I think, are the best option. Still going to be... Wait, no, they're not. Because I had the 3rd one selected, that's why. So it is the 3. Okay. Main gun. We could go with a 6-incher or a 7-inch. Well, that 5-inch gun's actually way better than it has any right to be. Sure, 5-inch guns. Definitely a lightly armed ship. But that all fits pretty much perfectly. There's a ton of smaller guns on it. So this would be, I think, pretty good at taking out torpedo boats. And then if we fit it with some underwater torpedo launchers, then it can threaten bigger ships. Lovely. Right, balance spoiler. No upgrades for any of this. I might pop a priority into engines. They make such an enormous difference early on. We do have gun cotton, which is pretty significant actually. We don't have any other techs. Oh, this thing came with no armor at all. Yikes. Okay. 5-inch 38. Probably want like a 3-inch main belt. 1.5. And then these technically exist, but not much. Oh, I can only get 2.8 on the turret. Hilarious. And then casement armor 0.2. And we are hugely overweight because we are going too fast. Let's slow her down a bit. Slow her down a lot. Minimum speed. Tell you what, let's reduce beam. That will help quite a lot with... You're fine. Stop whinging. That'll help quite a lot with the engine weight. Okay, still number 3 on the list. I really do need to drop that investment into the engine tech. And then if I drop range by 1... It's not a great ship, I'll be honest. The Boise! I think that's how it gets pronounced in America. Boise. So it wouldn't be boys. which is how I would pronounce it. But sure. What do you mean the E's supposed to be silent? Or not silent? Anyway, yeah, it's a reasonable looking ship, I think. I don't think they take an enormous amount of time to build. 10 months. Okay. Yeah, I'm going to save this. I'm going to see how many I can actually just flat out build, and then we'll see where we're at. Decided to build 10. That will... well, won't push us to parity with the Spanish, but it'll significantly expand the fleet. Again, I'm just going to let the AI distribute the ships around. Yeah, next is going to be the Battleship 1, which is 5 months away. But a better engine is so far away. That is insane. But we should get... oh... let's just go boilers and engines for a bit until we can build ships that aren't like mostly engine. I think it's worth popping a research priority into engines at the least, probably until you get turbines. Turbines make a huge difference. All right. I'm going to go back to ending the turn. Well, here we go. We should never accept this accusation. Prepare for war. Yes. Okay. Now, annoyingly, we do not have 100,000 tons of ship. It's just not something we're able to do right now. However, the Boise's have literally just finished commissioning. So, not the best time for Spain to do this. So, we're going to have to fight this war a little bit differently. I'm probably going to peace out if I can once we've sunk a bunch of Spanish stuff. But all I'm going to do for now is just switch all the ships to sea control, hopefully generate some missions, although there's no guarantee of that. Oh, fucking funnels again. I was hoping to get induced boilers, but again, we'll just leave it on there. We're still 9 months away from getting the triple expansion engine. That makes such a big difference. I am prepared to wait 9 months before we start building the new battleship. I don't think anyone else is going to get involved. We do have some negative relations around, but not a lot. Economy has grown a lot. We're now past Spain. Just in case we start losing transports, I'm going to max out the transport budget. We have... I have already reinvested in re-expanding the maximum shipyard size. We're going to increase our crew training to 100% as well. Just to make sure that we're all okay. Right, after a whole lot of nothing, we finally have the triple expansion steam engine. We also have the Mark 1 13-inch, which is pretty spicy. Unfortunately, though, there's really no action. The Spanish have sent 2 light cruisers to Havana, but no engagement. So I think we need to force the issue, which means we're probably going to have to wait for these battleships that I'm about to start building to actually finish, which is a little bit ridiculous, but okay. Oops, what's my max size here? 12,500. Okay. Speed 18. Fancy. And with a triple expansion engine, might be in with a shot of that. Still don't have the induced boilers, sadly. Cage masts, of course. Probably going to be standard funnels. So I can fit 3 of them in. Engine efficiency at 76. Actually, it's not bad in this era. Now, the Delawares had 12-inch guns, right? Yeah, they did. Let's see if we can, again, go with the 12-inch. I know I have the 13s, but let's just see how we do for weight, first of all. And we do have access to the 6-inch casement gun, or casemate gun. Depends on your preference for saying that. It should be casement in my head, but it's clearly spelt casemate. Someone correct me on that. Let's put some torpedo launchers on. I mean, these should basically be better than the Delawares in every way. To the point where I might be able to sell the Delawares to Brazil. Because the hull is still viable. That would be amusing. Oh, we also have twin. Yes. Twin 5-inch guns. Nope. Nothing else. Well, we got a nice selection of shooting options there. Compound armor. Really don't have a lot in the way of upgrades. We do have soft cap HE. That's pretty nice. Ooh, white powder. Good. Enhanced 16-inch torps. We're a lot overweight, but I think most of that is in the turret armor. Well, see, now we've gone up to gun cotton, but we don't have nickel steel yet. We're looking a little bit vulnerable to guns. I think sticking with basically the same armor that we used before is going to be my best bet. And we'll look to upgrade this later. 5, 3.5. Oh, that brought it down quite a lot, actually. Fuel. Wow. Okay. Yeah, of course. If these are going to be invading, then fuel and range not as important. Perfect. And they're bigger at 12,500 tons, or just under. Which means that we have more options. And I think they look very fine. Very American. Very American, which is fantastic. It's exactly what I want. I think these will do fine. Truxton is I know that is actually a name of a US battleship. Do you know what? Let's stick with it. I know that. I mean, normally they're named after states, but in this era they were named after all sorts of things. And all of these ships that I'm building just now will likely be scrapped and or replaced later. So let's save that and let's see how many we can actually build. Oh, we actually get some action. Oh, yes, very good. So we have Northampton and Pensacola operating. I think she's actually operating out of Pensacola, which is amusing. We also have T8, T5, and T12. Against them, we have, well, I think these are the same class. Yes, they are. This one's just really badly built. The Antonio Ulloa class light cruiser Isabel II. In fact, they're nearly all that class. Oh no, they are all that class. It's just this one must have a flaw that reduces its displacement. They have green cruise as well. Good to know. 20 knots. Reasonable. 3% armor quality though, so they're using iron plate. They're not using compound. 2 7.6-inch guns, 6 4-inch guns, 8 3-inch guns, and underwater torpedo tubes. So they're no joke. They're packing a lot of punch, but I think they might be... I don't know. Maybe they'll be relatively easy for us to take down. We'll have to see. Right. Go normal. You stay on normal. Torpedo boats, I think we'll just zip in with them. See if we can... Wow, that one almost sank with the bouncy. Should stop in a second. Physics doesn't normally take that long to load. There we go. Yeah, we dash in. See how much damage it can do, because we are outnumbered in this fight. Let's have a look at the Spanish ship. It is the hull I was thinking of. Wow, those are huge turrets to put on a hull that size. Yeah, let's see if we can get a couple of torpedoes off. Although we don't outrange them with our torpedoes on the torpedo boats. They almost certainly have the same 900-meter range. But we are pretty speedy, and we do have 2 torpedoes per boat. Yep. Ooh. T12. I admire your sacrifice. They missed? Oh my word. Incredible. I think my torpedoes are also going to miss. But it does waste one of their shots of torps. But I think that shows that I definitely don't want to be engaging at extremely close torpedo range. So very useful to find out what these ships are actually like. Yeah, they do not have a lot of armor. I reckon when we stand up in a proper battle line against them. Wow, T8. Just gonna charge in. Torpedoes away at someone. Ugh. Oh, a hit. Nice. Oh god. Badly talked back. Although we are causing a lot of chaos. Which is actually no bad thing. Disrupting their formation and such. Wow. That's one away. You can retreat. Bonk. Got him. Okay. My cruisers. Then they're now finally in range. We're going to lose the torpedo boats, but they have kind of done their job by causing a lot of problems. There goes the T8. And yeah, Navarra took a reasonable amount of damage. Actually, Classe Conde de Venedito, she only took 1 torpedo. I think it's going to sink. She can't control that flooding. Oh, maybe she can. Oh, nope. The damage control team's got a handle on it. They almost lost the ship there. Would have been mad for them. There's one ship out on her own, Isabel. They're trying to chase down the torpedo boat. T5? Possibly. Torpedo boats do have a reload, but probably leave them to it. They are faster than me, so they can choose how the engagement goes. Be nice if Northampton could hit the side of a barn from inside the barn. But, again, the realities of 19th century naval combat. Really? That's just bad luck. I don't know where Isabel is going. Dearie me. Let's see if we can finish off the 2 injured ships. This is where I wish I could just use the ×10 speed. Would be very helpful. Oh, jeez. Do you know what? I'll time-lapse to when I'm actually in range again. Jesus. Right, finally back in range. Although, not with any great chance to hit. I scored any hits with the guns yet? Nope. Yeah, there we go. Flooding. Screw you, buddy. Oh, that was a good hit. Main belt pen and flooding. Another flooding hit. They're not nothing, these ships, by the way. I was checking that while I was getting into range. They're 5 million. Ours are 9.3. So really we need to be sinking 2 of these, but the others have all disappeared. So I think we'll try and sink Classic Conde da Venedito. Try and keep out of torpedo range. Yeah, we've got a reasonable accuracy at this range. It's still pretty goddamn awful. Good. Damage control parties on that ship are really on point, though. Could really do with is getting a hit on their torpedo room. Another 2 flooding hits. Oh, that's overwhelmed them. They're gone. Very sudden how that happens. But yeah, we'll end the battle there. With a victory. Not a decisive victory. We lost the T8, but they lost a cruiser. Seems fine to me. Right. I think we'll end the episode here. Thank you very much for starting to watch a brand new campaign with me. There'll be many more episodes to come, I'm sure. And I'll see you next time for some more Ultimate Admiral Dreadnoughts. Bye for now.